Hey everybody, sorry about that. I got cut off. I wasn't watching the clock and got cut off. This is the second video in the walkthrough for the basic HTML web page. So what I've done, okay, this is our web page that we were building based on a research argumentative essay. I went ahead and added in the header and the second paragraph. Now let's start thinking about this as a web page and not an academic paper. You think like this stuff, you know, in a web page, you probably really wouldn't be interested. A reader wouldn't be interested in this. In an academic paper, which is or our research argumentative paper, the main point is to assess your performance. So your name, the instructor, and the course are important information. So it makes sense that they appear at the front. It's a measurement of your work. In a web page, content tends to be more important than the actual creator of the content. So as you remediate this into a web page, you probably want to get rid of this or maybe put it at the bottom in a footer of some sort. And the other thing to note is that it's still pretty text dense. And again, web pages, you want the thing to be visually appealing. When a reader clicks on it, they typically want to know where to go to get the important information, and they want to know fast. So it's a bit text heavy. So let's go through and make a couple changes. Let's go back over to our editor and let's get rid of this stuff. You can reassign it. How about this? I'll just put it down at the bottom for now. I'm just cutting and pasting down here. Okay, so that's gone. I'm going to save it again. And we've got all this text. What are we going to do about this text? One thing to do is for the original, back to the web page, have a kind of summary statement here, or a single line that stands for this text. Now this is the introduction to an academic paper. And introduction, typically the important part is the thesis at the end. Right here. With that said, I'm inclined to lean in favor of ignorance based on the beneficial effects obliviousness and knowledge have towards the individual. Kind of a strange argument. It's arguing for ignorance. But let's just go ahead and go with what we got in front of us. The problem here is so one thing is to cut all the text and put it in a separate file and turn this into a link to that text. But the problem with that is if we just leave this sentence, it still sounds overly academic and not very user-friendly. So what I might do, first thing I would do is create a local link to this paragraph. So let's go back into our text editor. I'm just going to grab this whole thing and then I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to go back to my HTML template. I'm going to start a different file. Let me just put it over here. Okay, and let me save as, let's just call this paragraph PAR1. And don't forget to put in the extension HTML so that it knows what kind of document you have, and just save that. Okay, so let's go back here. So the first paragraph is cut, but we want to create a link. We don't want to totally lose this information. We just want to make it a little bit, the basic web page a little bit cleaner. I think this stuff should be gone. Yeah, the header's gone. I thought I cut that. I guess I didn't save it. So let's go back here and let's just say the thesis was arguing for the benefits of ignorance. Let's just put it in a paragraph. No, let's create this as a link. There's going to be a href. I'm going to talk about this in a second. And let's just call why ignorance is better than knowledge. Okay, it's a little bit user-friendly and stylistically. And close the link. I'm going to wrap the whole thing in the link. Now we created this other HTML document, and it's saved right in the same folder as our main web page here. So you can create the href attribute. All you have to do, it's in the same folder. You just need to put in the the name of the file. So let me go back to the text editor, and the href, it's paragraph 1. And don't forget the extension HTML. Let's save it. Let's relaunch it. And okay, it's appearing right next to the thing. Let me go back to the image. Let me just go back, and I'm gonna wrap that. You could put a what they call a BR here, and that would kind of solve the problem. And okay, so you can, why ignorance is better than knowledge. You've got a link, and if you click on that link, it takes you to that text, and there's a link with it that we put in there before. Okay, so that's one way of kind of streamlining this the homepage of this website. If you look at the second one, this is a body paragraph for an academic essay. So the introduction, usually the most important sentence or bit of information is the thesis, and that typically appears at the end. When you get to the body, the important information is often the topic sentence. So in this paragraph, it's starting to advance its argument, and it's doing so by referring to the poet Thomas Gray. Thomas Gray speaks to the renowned English poet and intellectual, speaks to the benefits of ignorance while at the same time denouncing the power of knowledge as useless in comparison. So again, I would probably try to come up with a snappier bit of link text. I don't know. Let's just go in and kind of freeform it. Let's go. Just put in another link. Placeholder. Oh, Thomas Gray thinks ignorance is better than knowledge. If I can spell knowledge. Okay, closing tag. Okay, so we've got another link in here, and let's just take this back. Let me open up the let me grab another template. A copy of the template. There's the template. Let me go back into this. Let me grab the entire second paragraph. Oh, actually, let's cut and paste it. Cut out of this. Put it into the template, into the body. Okay, let's save as. We don't want to overwrite the template because that's something we want to use again and again. Let's just call that as paragraph 2, HTML. Save. Okay, go back to our home page. Add the reference to the file. It's paragraph 2.html. Let's save this. Let's make sure I save this. Let's go back. Let's relaunch our home page in Chrome. Okay, again, this thing's on the same line. What I would do is go back and just wrap these things. You can wrap tags into with other tags. So I would go. Let's just make this a paragraph, a link within a paragraph tag, P, and do the same here. And this should put it on separate lines. You could also put it in a list, but let's just kind of keep it simple for now. Okay, and now go back, and there you've got 2 links. Let me see if I can get this up a little bit. Oops. Okay, and if you click on this, it should take you to this other thing. Oh, I forgot a smart quote, but that's no big deal. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. You can I hope you can kind of see the point. You can start by putting the whole thing in there, and then trying to reshape it, restructure it so it looks more. It answers the expectations of the medium of a web page. You'll add 3 links and 3 images, and you know, I'm not really looking, the point of this assignment is just for you to kind of work with HTML and kind of see it. It doesn't have to look like a professional web page. It's just a kind of exercise and getting you to think about what remediation is, what multimodal composition is, and what happens and what changes that you have to make when you change from one medium to another. What different set of expectations and conventions must you answer and abide by. Okay, if you guys have any questions, you can email me, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.